All right, Mr. Garner, can you go ahead and raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you introduce yourself to the jury and go ahead and spell your first and last name as well?
Sidney Garner, Sidney Garner.
Inadvertently thrown away your questions. All right, so tell us what you do.
I'm a registered nurse at Northeast Georgia Medical Center in Gainesville in the emergency department.
Okay. And how long have you worked in Gainesville?
I've been in Gainesville for 10 years.
And have you worked anywhere else as a nurse?
Not as a nurse, I was a paramedic for 10 years prior for Gwinnett County Fire.
Okay. Can you tell us about your education that, I guess, allowed you to be a nurse?
I received my undergrad at the Alabama. That was my BSN. Then I got a master's at the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Okay. And they still let you work in Georgia?
Yes.
All right. So you said that you were fireman and EMT prior to becoming a nurse?
Yes, ma'am.
In that profession, did you have the occasion to come across emergencies, gunshot wounds, that sort of thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. About how many of those types of incidents where there was a crime committed or someone had been shot did you come across?
Countless. I couldn't put a number on it. Yes, ma'am.
Now, you indicated that you work at Northeast Georgia in Gainesville, and you indicated that you were an emergency room nurse. Can you tell us what that means? Like, what do you do?
I'm currently an assistant nurse manager. I've got 30 employees under me in the department. I'm also one of 18 shock trauma nurses in the department that has specialized in trauma and shock patients.
And tell me how that differs from being a regular ER nurse when you're dealing with shock trauma patients.
Specialty training, extra meetings every month as well.
Okay. And is there a shock trauma nurse on every shift?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to turn your attention to the afternoon of September 4th of 2024. Were you working on that date?
Yes, ma'am.
And what shift were you working?
I work 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
And what was your role on that shift?
My role in that shift was team lead that day. I was over what we call the A area, or our trauma area in the department.
And as team lead, what is your job?
My job was to oversee the nurses, 4 nurses in that zone, to oversee 10 patients in that area as well.
So was there a separate shock trauma nurse on duty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you participate in the care of Natalie Griffith that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did you end up participating in her care?
I was the lead charter in the room when she arrived.
Okay. And did you sort of take over the role of shock trauma nurse as well?
Yes, ma'am. The shock trauma nurse that day was a newer nurse, and the charge nurse had asked me to take on that position due to the news of a potential shooting in the area.
And was that kind of based on your previous experience as an EMT and firefighter that you can handle this type of situation?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you remember about Natalie's demeanor that day?
I remember her when she came in, she was calm, especially for a 15-year-old.
And was she asking for anyone or doing anything?
She asked for her mother multiple times.
At this time, I'm going to go ahead and introduce into evidence State's Exhibit 79, which are Natalie Griffith's medical records. And we're introducing them under the business records exception.
Okay. All right, 79 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'm just going to hand these to you in case you need them when you're answering questions. Can you tell us what time Natalie arrived at the hospital?
Natalie was registered in the emergency department at 12:01.
And how was she transported there?
By ambulance.
Did you participate in assessing her when she arrived at the emergency room?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old was she?
Natalie was 15.
Can you describe what her injuries were?
Yes, ma'am. Natalie had appeared to what be a graze wound across the top of her left breast, a penetrating wound to the upper left arm on the medial and lateral side, also a large wound to the left wrist.
And when you say graze wound, can you tell us what you mean by that?
It appeared something had cut through the tissue of the top of the left chest. It did not penetrate in, but it was kind of filleted open.
And can you tell us what you mean by penetrating wound?
What we assumed to be a GSW at the time, a gunshot wound.
And I think you indicated that there was a lateral and then...
Yes, ma'am. There was a wound to the medial side of the arm and the opposite side of the arm.
And in terms
potentially a entrance and exit wound.
Okay, so an entrance and exit wound of a gunshot.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also indicated there was another wound on her wrist.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the cause of that wound?
Most likely a GSW.
And again, GSW is shorthand for gunshot wound?
Gunshot wound, yes, ma'am.
Is that a term that y'all use?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your training and experience both as a shock trauma nurse as well as a fire and EMT, are those types of injuries painful?
They are very painful, yes, ma'am.
And based on the location of the gunshot, was it possible that Natalie could have lost the use of her arm?
Potentially, yes, ma'am.
During the course of her treatment, were photographs taken of her injuries?
Yes, ma'am.
And were those taken at the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
And were they also made part of the medical record?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, this time I am going to show pictures and display them to the jury. Some of the pictures are graphic, so I wanted to put a notice on the record for the audience as well as the jurors that there will be a few graphic pictures being shown.
Thank you.
Okay. And we're going to bring these pictures up. They are just part of State's Exhibit 79. So I'm just going to ask you, as I bring them up, this is on page 15 of the medical records, if you could describe what that injury shows.
I believe this is the posterior side of the arm, or what I was calling the lateral side, the back side of the left arm, a potentially exit or entrance wound from a GSW or a gunshot wound.
And we'll move to the next page, which is page 16 of State's Exhibit 79. And can you tell us what that shows?
Yes, ma'am. This is the larger wound that you see towards the middle is what I told you was like the graze wound, where it was kind of filleted open. And then that is another penetrating wound just above the orange tourniquet on the arm that could have been an exit or entrance.
Okay. And I assume there was no bullet or bullet fragments found in her arm, suggesting that it exited. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, we'll move to page 17. All right, can you tell us what that shows?
This is the left anterior wrist.
All right, and again, that is an apparent gunshot wound?
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll move to page 18.
It's a different angle of the same wound.
Okay, thank you. And there's one more on page 19.
And same wound, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. As far as the injury to the wrist, was it also possible that she would have lost the use of her wrist based on that injury?
Yes, ma'am.
While Natalie was at the hospital, what treatment did she undergo?
She received IV antibiotic therapy. She went to the OR for repair of that right wrist, washed out of the left wrist, I'm sorry, washed out of the left arm as well. And then after the OR on the floor, when she was admitted, she did receive screening for PTSD.
Okay. And can you just tell us what you mean by washout of the arm?
To clean out any debris that might be left in the arm to prevent infection.
Does that aid in the healing of the injury?
Yes, ma'am.
You also indicated that she was screened for PTSD.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the result of that screening?
The result was positive.
And that means that she had screened that she did have PTSD.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell us when she was discharged from the hospital? I believe it's on page 1,
Is it on page 1?
under discharge information.
She was discharged September 25th at 12:39 in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have any further questions.
All right. Mr. Cross?
No questions.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
State policy, please.
State calls Jackson Beaver and just is a juvenile.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the media, we have the juveniles at times, so it's any instructions regarding no filming or photographing or broadcasting anything about the witness's face.
All right, Jackson, I'm going to go ahead and have you raise your right hand. Perfect. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. And I'm going to start by having you say your name, and if you'll spell your first name and your last name.
My name is Jackson Thomas Beaver.
Okay.
It's spelled Jaxson. But
Yep. And how do you spell Beaver?
Beaver.
Thank you. And Jackson, how old are you?
I am 16, about to turn 17.
Okay. So you're about to turn 17. When's your birthday?
June 12th, 2009.
All right. And Jackson, did you used to go to Apalachee High School?
No. I mean, I was new to the school.
You
Whatever
were new to the
happened,
school? Okay. So did you go to Apalachee for a short period of time?
Yeah.
Okay. And was that your freshman year of school?
Yeah, it was.
And was that last school year, so 2024 into 2025, that it would have been that year?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's talk about September of 2024. Were you going to Apalachee then?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And did you go to school on September 4th of 2024?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. Do you remember who you had for second period?
I had Miss Ryan.
And what I'm going to do is we're going to pull up your class's seating chart on that screen in front of you. And we're going to have where we believe your desk was circled. Uh-oh. Hold on. Do you remember where you were sitting that day?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you check out that seating chart and you see where your name is circled? Is that accurate to where you were sitting?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. And Jackson, on that day, did something bad happen when you were in Miss Ryan's class?
Other than the obvious, nothing.
Okay. And when you say the obvious, why don't you tell me when you noticed that something was wrong?
Whenever I came to school, I noticed that the Wi-Fi wasn't working
Okay.
and everything was feeling just a bit off
Okay.
to me.
So you're kind of having an off day going into it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you get to second period and you're in Miss Ryan's class, and what happened then?
Me and this other kid, we were both reviewing our work, and then the kid came through the door and just started doing everything.
Okay. And Jackson, when you say doing everything, what do you mean?
He started shooting.
Okay. What do you remember noticing when that started?
I remember just chaos happening, people throwing chairs, screaming, people on the floor.
Okay. Do you remember what you did?
I was also on the floor. I was trying to figure out what happened.
And if you had to guess in your mind, how long did that shooting go on for?
Felt like hours.
Yeah. And do you remember at some point that it stopped?
I only like felt like it stopped whenever everyone was like calmed.
Okay. And what happened at that point?
Everyone was like checking up on everyone, seeing who got hurt.
Do you remember anything about anyone specific that was in your class?
No, not really.
Okay. And at some point, did you realize that you yourself was hurt?
I noticed whenever I was hurt, like if I looked down and I saw a hole in my shorts and noticed I was bleeding. That's when I knew I was hurt.
Okay.
But I didn't focus that much on it.
Gotcha. And how long did it feel like y'all were in the room until law enforcement came?
Maybe like half an hour.
Okay. So did it feel like kind of a long time
Yeah.
that you were waiting? Okay. And once law enforcement came, what do you remember doing?
I remember they told us to put our hands up, and we all did. And they just escorted us outside the class to Hammond Morris's Hill.
Okay. And do you remember when they told y'all to put your hands up when you were walking out? Was there anything that was difficult about that for you?
I was busy trying to see how much I was bleeding, so it was kind of hard for me to put both my hands up, but I just decided to put both my hands up anyways.
Okay. So you were trying to grab your leg at the same time? Okay. And while you were in the room, were you able to contact your family or anything like that?
No, I was unable to contact my family
Okay.
in any way possible.
And how were you feeling at that point?
Kind of scared, thinking he was going to come back into the room.
Okay. And once y'all got out to the football field, was somebody able to look at your leg?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Everyone was kind of just like hugging each other, trying to not understand what was happening.
Gotcha. And then before you left that day, were you able to get bandaged up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And who eventually came for you to meet you at the school?
My mom
Okay.
and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, after this shooting happened, was your school closed for a little while?
Yes, it was.
And once it reopened, did you try to go back to school?
Yeah, I tried for maybe 3 months.
Okay. And you say you tried. Tell me what that looked like.
Every time I went back to the school, I would feel like something bad was going to happen again, and I couldn't wait, and I had to go home, like right
Okay.
after.
All right. So whenever you were going to school, did you usually make it through the day or not make it through the day?
I couldn't make it through the day without worrying about what would happen.
Okay. And so what did you end up doing? Do you still go to Apalachee now?
We eventually just gave up on going to school,
Okay.
and we were trying to get us back to school. We were trying to get me back to school.
Okay. And when you were at school at Apalachee, I know you said you were new to the school since you were a freshman. Had you started with any extracurricular activities?
I was in marching band, and I was gonna probably sign up for boxing.
Okay. And did you enjoy marching band when you were in it?
Yeah, I loved marching band. It was really fun.
Okay. So you said that you weren't able to stay in school because you couldn't get through the day. Did that affect your ability to be in the marching band at school?
Yeah, it really did.
Okay.
Because it was also involved with the school.
All right. So are you able to do that now that you're not able to go to regular school?
No.
Okay. Is that something that you miss?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in your day-to-day life, does what happened to you still affect you, like mentally or emotionally?
Sometimes I just forget it happens, but whenever I do, it kind of messes me up a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And when you say messes you up, what do you mean?
Kind of just like lay in my bed and just let the day go by.
Okay. All right, Jackson, I don't have any other questions for you. They may have a question for you.
Cross.
No question, Jim.
All right.
You're good to go. Thank you, Jackson.
State calls next, please.
The state calls Ronaldo Vega, and Judge, he is also a juvenile.
All right. You have same juvenile instructions here.
All right, I'm going to start by having you raise your right hand. You put your hand up. Perfect. And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. And will you introduce yourself? And by that I mean just tell us your name, and if you want to spell your first and last name for us, and you can go ahead and put your hand down.
My name is Ronaldo. It's spelled Ronaldo.
Okay. And what's your last name?
Vega.
And how do you spell that?
Vega.
Thanks. And Ronaldo, what school do you go to?
I go to Apalachee.
Okay. And how old are you?
16.
So what grade are you in right now?
Sophomore.
You're a sophomore. And so were you also at Apalachee during the 2024 to 2025 school year?
Yes.
Would that make you a freshman last year?
Yeah.
Okay. And were you at school on September 4th of 2024?
Yes.
Who did you have for second period?
Miss Ryan.
Okay. And we are going to pull up your class's seating chart, and we should have circled where we believe that you would have been seated that day. Can you tell us if that's correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Ronaldo, is that in the bottom left corner? Is that where the front door of the classroom was?
Mhm.
Okay. And when you were in Miss Ryan's class that day, tell me when you first realized that something was wrong.
After he had kicked the door.
Okay. And so you said he kicked the door. How did you know somebody had kicked the door?
The door had slammed on like a table that wasn't there,
Okay.
like where we write our passes and everything, and that's how we all had like turned around.
Okay. So did you hear something before you saw anything?
Yeah.
And once you turned around, what do you remember seeing?
I see Cole with the gun, and he had gloves on that were yellow
Okay.
with a scope on it.
Okay. And what did he do?
He had like shot, I don't know how much time, but he had like shot.
Was
Just
it a lot of times?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do when that happened?
I had went down to duck,
Okay.
and I had saw Christian like just sit there, and then afterwards I had seen him behind the door, like covering himself.
Okay. And that's Christian?
Christian is like right in front.
Okay. What happened at that point?
He had like went on the ground and covered, like, I don't know how to show you, but he was like grabbing his legs and standing behind the door.
Okay. And when the shooting stopped, what do you remember?
When he had stopped, I had like gotten up from my desk and there was like blood everywhere, and I almost slipped to go close the door.
Okay. And did you do anything else once you went over towards the door?
I had threw desks that were near the door, and then I went back to the teacher's, Miss Ryan's desk.
Okay. And we'll later on be showing the video of this, but you said you threw some desks. Did you throw a good bit of furniture in front of that door?
Yeah, I'll say like the whole front row, like right here.
Mm-hmm. And then once you threw that barricade up, where did you say you went?
I went behind Miss Ryan's desk.
Okay. And is that kind of in the back of the classroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember who you saw after that?
I had seen Candace behind the desk too, and I had seen Taylor on the ground. That's pretty much.
Okay. How are you feeling at this point?
At this point,
Mm-hmm.
shocked.
Yeah. Were you able to call anyone?
Yeah, I was able to, because they had taken her phones at the start of it, and she had put them in a cart,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the cart was, next to her desk. And so I asked a friend to give me the phone, and I had called my parents.
Okay. Were you able to speak with them?
Yes.
Okay. What do you remember as far as when law enforcement came?
A girl was screaming that he was dead, and not saying who it was, but just screaming someone was dead. And that's pretty much.
Okay. Did you know who she was talking about?
No.
Okay. Did law enforcement take y'all out of the room?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, did you realize who had been killed?
Yes.
Okay. Did y'all have to walk by Christian to get out of the room?
Yes.
Okay. Where did y'all go once they took you out of the room?
We had went on the hill for him and March first, and then they had told us to go to the football field.
Okay. Once you got to the football field, were you able to meet up with your family?
Mm.
Okay. What happened when you were at the football field?
I had told the officers that I had been like hit by fragments.
Okay. So tell me, Ronaldo, when did you realize, you kind of told us you went in, you barricaded the door, you went to the back. When did you realize that you were actually hit?
When I went in the back,
Okay.
that's where like I saw like two of the fragment entrance.
Okay.
There's like blood around
And where on your body was it?
on my thigh.
Okay. And before that point, did you even realize that you were injured?
No.
Okay. So when you went out on the football field, was somebody able to give you some medical attention?
Yes.
Okay, so what did they do?
They had told me to sit down and relax and gave me like a nutrients bar to like stay
Gotcha.
healthy. You know?
Okay. And how many injuries did you have on your leg? Do you know?
It was two.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that painful?
It was like a sting, like if a bee was stinging me.
Okay.
I just staying there.
Gotcha. And did that take a little while to heal?
It took around like three weeks around there.
About 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. So other than physically, tell me about how this has impacted you mentally and emotionally.
I had gotten more aggressive.
Okay.
And I would like ignore things, and I wouldn't like hug my mom.
You wouldn't hug your mom? Why not? Just couldn't? Okay. And I can tell you're feeling a little emotional. Has that been hard for you?
Yes.
Okay. And has that been kind of changes that you've been struggling with ever since then?
I've been having dreams.
Okay. And did those dreams start after the shooting happened? Okay. And have you received counseling for what you went through?
Yes.
Okay. And does this continue to be hard for you emotionally?
A little.
A little. Okay. And Ronaldo, I don't have any other questions for you, but the defense may have a question or two for you.
Ross?
No question,
All right. Thank you. State what's next with?
State called Howard Carter. Hi, Mr. Carter. You can have a seat, and if you could raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay. And can you introduce yourself to the jury?
I'm Howard Carter. I am a registered nurse at Northeast Georgia Medical Center in Barrow County.
And how long have you been a registered nurse?
About 7 years.
Have you spent that entire 7 years in the Barrow County Hospital?
No, ma'am. I was with Piedmont Walton first.
Okay. What educational background do you have that qualifies you for your position as a nurse?
There was 2 years of prerequisite courses at Gwinnett Tech, and then there was my RN training at Athens Technical College.
Okay. And at Northeast Georgia Vero, what kind of nurse are you?
I am a registered nurse in the emergency department.
And tell us what you do as a registered nurse in the emergency department.
We are the first line when you come to the hospital. We triage and we determine, as a nurse there, we treat and either send you to transfer or send you into our hospital or send you home.
Okay. So I'm going to turn your attention to the morning of September 4th of 2024. Were you on duty that day?
I was.
Okay. And were you made aware that there was a shooting at Apalachee High School?
We were.
When y'all were made aware of that, did y'all prepare for potentially getting patients?
We did, yes.
Okay. And how did y'all prepare for that?
Without knowing what type of patients we would be getting, we prepared our 2 larger rooms just in case there was serious trauma that came through the door.
And did you specifically have 2 patients that you worked on that came from Apalachee High School?
Correct.
And what were their names?
One is, I want to say, Ronaldo Vega, and Jackson, I can't remember his last name.
Does Jackson Beaver sound familiar?
Beaver, correct.
Okay. Do you have an independent memory of working with the 2 of them?
Yes.
Okay. And if you can tell us, was there anything that stood out to you about either of their demeanors?
I think Mr. Vega may have been crying. Mr. Jackson, nothing really.
Okay.
Or Mr. Beaver, sorry.
Yes. And as far as your role in their treatment, you mentioned that ER nurses triage. Is that what you did with Mr. Beaver and Mr. Vega?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you also, were you their, I guess, main treatment provider that day?
Yes.
I'm going to start with Ronaldo Vega. And I'm going to introduce in the evidence case exhibit 98, which is the medical records for Mr. Vega under the business record exception.
You said 98,
98, Your Honor.
any objections?
Just as to going out to the jury, Judge.
All right. Let the state's 98 submitted.
And I'm going to show you these just in case you need them
Thank you so much.
for your answering of the questions. All right. So when Mr. Vega arrived, do you know how he arrived to your hospital?
Via EMS.
And around what time did he get there?
Mr. Vega, I want to say it was 12:52 to be exact. Or 11:52, I'm sorry.
And when he arrived and you assessed him, what did you observe about his visible injuries?
And I'm going to get this exactly. He had what we would consider just lesions or abrasions in his left and upper lower extremity, and including his left shoulder. That's what we observed initially. Make sure I didn't miss anything. And most of those fragments were at the surface of the skin. Yeah.
Okay. And you said you observed abrasions or lesions. What was the cause of those abrasions or lesions?
There seemed to be, in some cases, metal in them. And what we couldn't guarantee a cause. We don't know exactly, but we just knew that they probably entered the skin with force because they were up underneath the skin.
And you said metal was inside the skin. Were those consistent with bullet fragments?
It could be, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how old was Mr. Vega at the time of his treatment?
I think Mr. Vega was 14 at the time of his treatment.
Okay. those types of injuries where there is metal that has entered your skin, obviously with force, as you indicated, would those injuries be painful?
Yes.
What treatment did you provide to Mr. Vega?
We did give him 600 milligrams of ibuprofen, and he also had a tetanus shot.
Is that based on the fact that there was metal inside his body?
Yes, ma'am. Any injury that causes, injured his body, yes, ma'am.
And were you able to remove the metal fragments from his body?
We were not, as per the provider, the metal would have to, because it would have been tissue disruption from what, as per the provider, it would grow out of his skin. The skin would push it out over time.
Okay. So essentially causing, or I guess trying to take the metal fragments out would cause more damage.
Yes.
And y'all chose to kind of let them work themselves out
Yes,
on their
ma'am.
own. Okay. Now, at this time, I'm going to move to Jackson Beaver. I'm going to introduce into evidence case exhibit 99, which are the medical records for Mr. Beaver under the business records exception as well.
Any objection to 99?
Same objection, Judge.
All right, 99 submitted.
And was Mr. Vega able to leave that day from the hospital?
Yes.
Did y'all, before we get to Mr. Beaver, before Mr. Vega left, did y'all kind of assess his emotional needs and provide resources if needed for that as well?
If I remember correctly, and looking through actually more than what you guys have here, I think we let him speak to behavioral health.
Okay. And is that something that you do when someone has been through a traumatic experience?
Yes.
Now, moving to Mr. Beaver, did you have the same role in his treatment that you had in Mr. Vega's treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And approximately what time did Mr. Beaver arrive at the hospital?
It looks as if that is going to be looks like 14, or sorry, military time, 2:49 p.m.
Okay. And again, was he transported also by ambulance?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you assessed him, how old was he?
15, I believe it is.
And what did you observe about his physical injuries?
Looks like he had, and I'm reading from this, along the lower aspect of the extremity. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing.
That's okay.
I'm going to tell you exactly. Oh, there we go. Kind of a, not really a laceration, but an abrasion in the right lower extremity, and says a wound to the lateral posterior right thigh that was bandaged. So yeah.
Okay. And when you say it wasn't really, it was an abrasion versus a laceration, kind of tell us what the difference is.
Lacerations, depending on the depth, are in some cases something that can be sutured. A lot of times we don't use laceration when it's something that's not very deep.
And as far as his injuries, did he have metal fragments as well in his body?
Let's see. Yes.
And what treatment did you provide to Mr. Beaver?
His treatment was we bandaged the area where he had the abrasion. That was the first thing we did, and I just want to make sure. He was also x-rayed to make sure there weren't any
Like fractures?
right. Because of
Did you also irrigate his wounds?
we did, and he was also given a 600 milligram ibuprofen.
And what is the purpose of irrigating wounds?
Any kind of wound that you have, irrigating just gives a less chance for infection.
And did the metal fragments also remain in his body?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was that a similar reason because you did not want to disrupt the tissue anymore?
Correct.
Okay. And was he able to leave the hospital that day?
Yes, he was.
And was he similarly given the ability to talk to someone from behavioral health because he had been through that traumatic experience?
Yes, ma'am. When I looked at the records, it looks as if he also spoke to behavioral health, and they gave him information on outpatient care if necessary.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions for you. Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Any follow-up? No questions, Your Honor. Thank you, sir. You're free to go.
All right, thank you, sir.
State calls next witness.
State Health Special Agent Jarriel Mann. Judge, can we approach before the next witness, just like scheduling? Go ahead and have you raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in the matter now pending before the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right. And if I can start by just having you introduce yourself, and if you'll spell your name for the court reporter.
Okay. I am Jarriel Mann. I'm currently a special agent with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. My first name is spelled Jarriel. Last name is Mann.
All right. And tell us about what region you work in and what your role is there.
I'm currently assigned to Region 10, where that is the Atlanta office. We do a lot of OISs and also fraud investigations and stuff like that.
Okay. Is OIS officer involved shooting?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So y'all stay busy in the Atlanta
Yes.
office of the GBI, I'm sure.
Yes.
And even though you generally work out of Atlanta, did you provide assistance in the Apalachee High School shooting investigation on September 4th of 2024?
Yes, I did.
All right. Where did you first respond in assisting in this investigation?
Of course, it came out as an active shooter, so we responded to Apalachee High School.
Okay.
And then from there, we were divvied in to do investigative acts.
Gotcha. And so from the school, where were you sent to go do follow-up investigation?
I was sent to the hospital to conduct interviews and speak to victims and, collect any evidence and also check up status of possible victims at the hospital.
Okay. And was that the Northeast Georgia Medical Center here in Barrow County that you went to?
Yes, that was.
Okay. And while you were there, did you specifically speak with Ronaldo Vega?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about what his demeanor was like when you met with him.
Well, when I spoke with Ronaldo Vega, of course, his guardians were there. He seemed kind of distant and seemed like he was in shock.
Okay.
So I had to give him kind of a moment to kind of brace himself before I had spoke with him.
Gotcha. So he was a little held back when he was talking to you
Yes, I
initially?
did see tears, and
Okay.
he seemed like he was visibly upset at the time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 100 through 102. Did you have the opportunity to photograph Ronaldo's injuries while you were there?
Yes, I did.
And if you'll just glance at those and tell me if those are fair and accurate depictions of the photographs that you took of Ronaldo and his injuries.
Yes, they are.
And Judge, at this time, we would ask to tender and publish State's Exhibits 100, 101, and 102.
Okay. All right, 100 through 102 are admitted.
We're going to pull those up. They should show up on the screen behind you as well as in front of you. And this is State's Exhibit 100. Will you just tell us what we're looking at there?
That looks to appear to be his inner thigh. I don't know if that's his left or right, but that's his inner thigh that he showed me.
Okay. And Judge, I think it states 102 has his face. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So we would ask that State's 102 not be published by the media.
All right. My understanding to the media is that 102 has Ronaldo's face, and you're not to photograph or record or broadcast 102 here.
All right, so this is 100. We'll show 101 first. And what are we looking at here?
This is his arm. It was, I guess it was injuries or lacerations that was shown to me that I documented and took pictures of as well.
Okay, and last we'll just show 102.
And this right here is just the overall photo that I took of him lying in hospital bed.
All right, does that picture kind of accurately represent Ronaldo's demeanor that you saw?
Yes.
Okay. While you were there, did you also have the opportunity to speak with Jackson Beaver?
Yes, I did.
All right. And did you also have the opportunity to photograph Jackson's injuries?
Yes, I did.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 103, 104, and 105. And I'll go ahead and ask you, Jackson, we recently saw him testify. Was he just kind of more of a upbeat kid at his baseline?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was very cooperative.
Okay. And do you recognize the images in those photographs?
Yes, I do.
Are those fair and accurate depictions of the photographs you took of Jackson Beaver?
Yes.
All right, and Judge, we would ask to tender States 103 through 105, and I believe it's 105, right, that has Jackson Beaver's face in it, so we'd ask that not be published to the media.
All right, any objection to 103 through 5? We agree, Judge. All right, 103 through 5 are admitted and just announced when you get to 105.
Okay, so this is 103. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
This is a laceration. Appears to be to, I want to say it's like lower leg
Okay.
beneath the buttocks area.
And next we'll pull up 104.
And these are just, I guess, lacerations are, I don't know if it's fragments from some sort on his calf muscles that he showed me.
Okay, so did he have kind of a spattering of superficial injuries that you observed on his leg?
Yes.
Okay. And this last one is going to be the one that has his face in it, and that's 105. Is that Jackson Beaver?
Yeah, it's just showing him and his demeanor, yes.
All right, thank you. And did your time at the hospital interviewing these individuals, taking photographs of them, did that conclude your role in assisting in this investigation?
Yes, it did.
All right, well, I have no further questions. I'll come grab those exhibits for you.
Cross. No cross, you're free to go, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, due to some witness scheduling issues, we're going to go ahead and break for lunch presently. It's called at 11:45. We'll be in recess till 12:45. And get on social media or media. We'll talk about case review research. 12:45.